Yo, what's up, guys? We're back, and we're going to be doing the breakdown for the White Contender Series this time. It's week 3. This one has some pretty decent fights on it, some veterans, good mix of people here. So we're going to get right into it. The first fight of the night, Kenny Cross, Kevin Syler. They were scheduled to fight on the first episode of this series, of 2020 this year, of the White Contender Series. But Kevin Syler actually got diagnosed with COVID. Cross, he got a new opponent, but this fight kind of seems meant to be, though, because Cross's new opponent also got COVID. He got pulled, and now just a couple weeks later, Cross and Syler, they're matched up again. Syler, he's 10-0. Cross, 10-3. Cross, he's been a pro about 4 years. Recently, he's been beating some pretty decent competition. You know, he is coming off a first-round knockout win over Robert Hale. He took out Jonas Flock, who was 13-4. Other than that, the competition level has been fairly low, and he does have 3 losses. For Kevin Syler, he hasn't really fought the same level of competition of Cross, but obviously he's undefeated. He's already competed on the White Contender Series, got a pretty dominant victory in that one as well. Looking into this fight, you know, both guys obviously have some obstacles to overcome. Syler, he's coming off of the COVID. Who knows how much he's been training or working during these last 2.5 weeks. For Kenny Cross, he's a pretty big 155 pounder, and he's had to cut weight twice in the last couple weeks. So they both weighed in on weight, though. They look decent on the scales. I actually think Kevin Syler looked a little bit not like out of shape, but he just looked a little bit like he had some extra fat on him. And then Cross looked pretty big there at the weigh-ins. He looked significantly bigger, and he's a good athlete, good mover. He has a hands down in and out style, a lot of feints, kicks, really nasty high kick. He nice straight punches. He's explosive in and out, like I said. Landed a nice combination on Robert Hale against the cage, took him out with some ground and pound. But when you look at that fight, Hale did get rocked with a headbutt right before the finishing combination. And Cross, I mean, his striking is dangerous. I mean, he could hurt you with one shot, take you out. So Syler has to always respect his power, respect the knees, respect the kicks, respect the straight shots. But Cross's wrestling is not on the level of a guy like Kevin Syler. I mean, in his fight with Jonas Flock, he was getting taken down at will in that fight. He was losing by a landslide, but he was showing some decent get-ups. I mean, not very technical. His opponent didn't look that good. I think Syler will be able to, advance to a more dominant position, take the back if he tries those similar get-ups. But he was showing some heart, and he kind of his opponent was taking him down so easily that he got tired. He shot in for like a really sloppy takedown. Cross timed to uppercut, knocked him out with one shot, but he was losing the whole fight prior to that. And Kevin Syler, he's a good boxer. He has powerful hands, really nasty jab. He'll double, triple up on the jabs. He throws a really nice 1-2. He'll throw a 1-2-1. He likes to use touch with the jab, step back, pull fighters into straights. Really good slipping and rippling ability. He digs to the body really good. His hand combinations aren't super fast, but they're really accurate. He keeps the volume very high, good movement. He can struggle a little bit against forward pressure. And in order to outstrike Syler, though, you have to be able to counter his jab and just come over the top and try to land some big shots. But when Syler wants to mix it up and bring it to the ground when you pressure him, he can do that as well. He has good body lock takedowns. He has a good single. He'll change the single to a double, get the finish that way. And on top, he has good control. He has a big ground and pound. He'll sit back on leg locks. He does have a heel hook win on his record. He's good at taking the back, and he's a well-rounded guy. He's finished 8 of his 10 wins. He did kind of get a little bit tired in the 3rd round of his Contender Series fight, but he landed a ton of strikes on that dude. That guy was extremely tough, kept coming forward. And even when he was tired, he was still able to reverse position when he got taken down, take his opponent's back, almost submitted him a couple times, and won the 3rd round also. So I'm pretty impressed with Kevin Syler, and I just don't think Kenny Cross's grappling is on that level. I don't think that he's going to be able to stop the takedown. You're going to have to rely on him getting a potential one-shot finish, or, showing a lot more composure, sticking and moving, trying to use his his striking on the outside, but I've never seen him have that type of composure. He's a guy that likes to blitz in, blitz out, be a little bit wild, go for the finish, and his wrestling just didn't impress me. So I think Kevin Syler will be able to maybe even get a submission here. Kenny Cross, all 3 of his losses have come via submission, 2 rear naked choke losses. So my prediction is going to be Syler via rear naked choke in the 2nd or the 3rd round here. In this next fight, we got 2 sloppy heavyweights here. Josh Parisian, Chad Johnson. Parisian 12-3. He actually already fought in the Contender Series, and he's also fought in the Ultimate Fighter, and he's won 5 fights in a row. And the 5 guys he's defeated were all very low level. When you look at Parisian's record, he's fought some veterans, some good fighters, but hasn't had great success against those guys. His opponent, Chad Johnson, 6-1, all finishes. He's only been in the 2nd round 1 time in his career, and he did get the biggest win in his last fight. He beat a guy who was 6-1. Other than that, he's not defeated anyone with more wins than losses. And Parisian's going to have a huge size advantage here. He's 265 pounds. Chad Johnson this morning weighed in at 215 pounds. So I don't know why he just doesn't cut that 10 pounds, go to light heavyweight, but maybe he feels like the speed or something gives him an advantage here. But Parisian, not a very impressive fighter. On the feet, he likes to kind of try to fight like a small guy, but isn't super athletic. He throws a lot of kicks, spins. He has been successful with it. He did knock out Gregor Bello with a spinning back fist. And, he has better striking than Chad Johnson. He's more durable. He has better hands. He throws, like I said, some decent kicks. But, he's open. He's hittable. He's not very athletic. But he has some speed, some diversity for heavyweight on the feet. And against lower level guys, that's been enough to get some knockouts. He does have 9 career knockouts. He is riding a 5-fight knockout streak. And his grappling doesn't look very good. I mean, he has really bad takedown defense. Kind of will be offensive with his guard. He'll throw up submissions, and the submissions are kind of slow, easily passable. His get-up game is okay, but he can be grinded out. He gets tired. He gets submitted. On his fight on the Ultimate Fighter, he was taken down, dominated, finished with punches by Michel Batista. In his fight with Brett Martin, he was taken down and got submitted with the Kimura pretty quickly. Even in his last fight, when he fought a guy who I think was like 8-10, he got taken down, slammed multiple times, was really kind of getting dominated. And the fight was, the ending was super strange. His opponent landed some ground and pound and then just let Parisian get back to his feet. Parisian was just walking forward, and his opponent threw a terrible flying knee, fell to his back. Parisian got on top, pounded him out, and I mean, that wasn't an impressive win at all. He's going to have to be a lot better to win this fight, but I believe he's going to be a lot more motivated. Obviously, this is going to be a big opportunity for him to get back in the UFC, and the last time he was on the Contender Series, he had that nasty spinning back fist knockout, so he's going to have some confidence here, I believe, as well. He's going to be the much bigger man. He's more technical striking. So he needs to try to keep it standing, touch that chin of Chad Johnson. And Chad Johnson, the fights that I saw, the dude was an absolute unit. He was straight jacked, and I don't know, maybe he was on some supplements, man, because he was only like 230 back then, and now he's 215, but he didn't look as muscled up on the scales today. But, he's an explosive guy. He comes in shape. He's a good wrestler. But the issue with Johnson is the dude has absolutely zero chin. I mean, he's been dropped numerous times. He's been sparked out cold more than once. If you touch this guy on the chin, you'll go out. And he does have good wrestling. I mean, I do see him being able to get some takedowns. But on top, he isn't very good. I mean, I've seen him get swept by a 2-7 guy. I watched him get taken down by that guy as well. On the feet, he's super wild, open, just throws wild shots to close the distance. Seems a little bit better with defense in his recent fights, but not really. Parisian will definitely knock him out if he stays standing. He could just take down Josh and pound him out, but I don't know, man. This is a shit show. I'm going to go with Parisian because I think he's more well-rounded. I think he can maybe get the KO. He has more experience, and Johnson's chin is just terrible. So I'm going to go with Josh Parisian. And then up next here we got Orionkoski taking on Matt Dixon. 2 welterweights, 2 undefeated guys. Cosce, 26. He's 6-0. He's fighting out of California. And he's going to be the first brother who's going to perform on this card. His brother Lewis is in the main event. And he's fought very low-level opponents, though. Cosce, he does look pretty athletic. He has a hands-down style. A lot of spinning attacks. A lot of kicks. Decent overall striking, though. Good pull counters. But looks a little flat-footed, kind of hittable. He's a good wrestler, and he does have all wins, all finishes. Matt Dixon is 9-0. He's definitely fought higher-level opponents. He's defeated guys with a lot more experience. He's coming off a win against Justin Patterson in his last fight. And he's a good wrestler. He's a good athlete, good striking. He's explosive, big power. He's more of a grinder, good top control. He can go all 3 rounds in 6 finishes. Dixon, he looks pretty good, man. I mean, his striking looks clean, it looks crisp, but he can get hit a little bit. But in his fight with Justin Patterson, who's a big juiced up guy with a lot of power, he showed good composure. He was able to eat some big shots and get the well-timed takedowns when he needed it. This fight's going to be interesting, though, because Cosce has good wrestling, and if he can keep it on the feet, maybe he could show that his striking is a little bit better than Dixon's. But if Dixon can get the takedowns, I think he's going to win here. It's interesting because I've only been able to see Cosce's MMA debut, so it's tough to kind of recommend a bet on Dixon, but I'm going to pick him here to get the win, and I think it'll probably be a decision victory. In the co-main event here, we got Cheyanne Beige taking on Hilarie Rose. And Cheyanne Beige, she's going to be making her first start of 2020. She's 4-1. She's training out of Fortis MMA, and her competition level hasn't been great as a pro, but as an amateur, she's had a ton of fights. She's fought girls like Ashley Greenway, Jillian Robertson, Vanessa Demopoulos, who we saw last week, and she's coming off a win over a 0-2 girl, though, which I don't really like. Her opponent, Hilarie Rose, identical record, 4-1. She lost her MMA debut, but she hasn't lost since, and she's also fought low-level competition. Her last win was over a 1-5 opponent. One thing I will give Beige is she traveled to different countries to fight. She's fought in bigger promotions. Rose, she's fought in a pretty good promotion in CES MMA, but she stayed over there on the, like up north where she's from, stayed over there in that same promotion. She hasn't traveled anywhere. But Rose is a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. She's primarily a grappler, but she's a Boston tough girl. She has decent straight punches, good kicks. She looks like she has some nice front kicks to the face, to the body, good spinning kicks, good body kicks. Her hands don't look bad either, but she's kind of good at setting up her kicks with her hands, but she needs to get a little bit better at that because she does throw naked kicks. Her footwork isn't bad. She isn't a bad athlete. Decent level changes, decent body locks against the cage. In this fight, though, I think she's kind of going to be out-muscled in the clinch. She does have some nice knees off the break. She has a nice flying armbar. She can't be taken down herself, though, and her top control isn't the greatest. She does throw some nice elbows when she can get to full mount or the back. She will, rain down some pretty nasty shots. And, I've seen her reverse, though, and controlled by a 4-3 opponent that she recently fought. Her opponent was able to control her in her guard and, not look like she got... or she wasn't put under much danger. But Rose does have a good butterfly guard, and she will elevate and sweep. And for Cheyanne Beige, though, she's more of a taekwondo striker, good footwork, good movement. She'll throw some stiff jabs, some good straights, good low kicks, and she has a nice left hook as well. She'll throw some nice counter uppercuts, good overhands, cuts angles well, she slips and rips. She'll throw some nice body kicks, head kicks. She can throw kicks with both legs. She does back up a lot, and fighters can kind of give one to take one because it doesn't look like she hits that hard. But she does have a good double underhook game, control against the cage. She likes that head and arm throw. She will time some double legs. On top, she's good at controlling. And like I said, Rose in her last fight was controlled on the ground. by a 4-3 opponent inside of her guard, and I feel like maybe Beige will see that, have a similar game plan, just take her down, control. I have seen Beige taken down, but she has a nice armbar herself. She does slow down in fights, but she's very tough. I mean, if you watch a fight with Vanessa Demopoulos, she was actually winning the fight, and her elbow dislocated, and she kind of tried to hide it from the ref, and she went on another like 20-30 seconds, but the ref finally saw it, finished the fight. And I think Beige will win here. I think she's going to be the physically stronger girl, the superior striker. Rose needs to pressure hard, try to get Beige tired, force her to make a mistake, submit her. Beige is going to, in my opinion, strike early, move, try to land some hard counters. Then I see her clinching, controlling against the cage, getting takedowns. She has to be wary of Rose on the ground, be wary of that flying armbar, but I think she's good enough to stay safe, control on top. So my pick is going to be Cheyanne Beige to win a decision here. And ultimately for the main event here, I mean, man, I don't have a ton to say about like a breakdown for these guys, because Cosce, man, I mean, I couldn't find any of his fights online. I saw maybe one amateur fight, I believe, and a wrestling match from a long time ago. He is a good wrestler. I mean, he, you know, looks like a very good wrestler, looks like an athletic guy. But he's going to be moving up to 170 here. He's going to be a lot smaller than Victor Reina. And I'm just going to click here. So like when we look at this, because there's not that much to go off in terms of tape, man. So looking at his record, I mean, the guys he's beaten: 6-4, 2-3, 0-0, 18-42, 4-8, 4-4. So Reina is a huge, massive step up for him at 11-4. And Victor Reina is a tough guy, man. I mean, the guy hits hard. He has a great chin. He comes forward. He has a decent grappling game as well. I mean, we've seen him beat guys like Daniel Rodriguez. He's dropped guys like Miguel Baeza on the Contender Series. And just his competition level, man. I mean, he's fought guys like Kevin Holland. He's fought guys like I just named, like Miguel Baeza, like Daniel Rodriguez. And he's been competing with some of these guys. So I'm just going to pick Victor Reina. I think that Cosce, he's never been out of the first round. He's never really fought a dog or someone probably like Reina before. If he can just dominate Reina and just show that he's like a, you know, a next level guy, a great super prospect, then good for him. But I'm going to pick Reina. And obviously I really can't recommend anything. I mean, I don't know what the line's going to be, but I would just stay away from it because I don't know anything about Cosce. Like you said, maybe he's going to be a great prospect, but just from the record, just from, you know, everything I see, I'm going to go with Victor Reina here and say he gets a late round finish. So that's going to be my predictions for this card here. I'm not going to give a parlay of the week or anything like that, or most confident pick, because just like the last couple weeks, I am going to be doing the full betting perspective over there at Odds HQ, another video, so make sure to check that out. I'll pin that in the comments section. Also, you know, shoot it out on the community page on my YouTube as well, so check that out. Go watch it, because you'll obviously get my bets there. We've been hitting the bets here on the White Contender Series recently. And thanks for always watching, guys. Thanks for supporting, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.